Good evening, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And even though we have a grinder here, this video isn't so much about the grinder as it is about the flange nut. And as I've told you before, I brought this, or I bring this to my welding class because this is great for, being in my booth and doing a quick clean of my welds so that the metal is less problematic. But if I need to do extended grinding or cutting, I need to change the wheel. But I'm not going to do that on this particular battery operated grinder because cutting and grinding will just destroy this battery. So I thought to myself, all right, I'll just use the grinders that are provided by the school. They have 3 or 4 of them, comparable size. They're all corded, naturally. And on the bottom, at the end of the cord where you plug in, it has the flange nut wrench. And I thought, well, I've got my own flange nut wrench that came with this Ryobi, so that, should I not want to use the toolless, I can use this to tighten it. Great. So I bring this to school and it doesn't fit the school flange nut. So I'm like, oh, MFer. So I would have to take the school grinder, unplug it, and there's always people using it. So you're around people and you're like, excuse me, and you're unplugging it. And I've also accidentally unplugged theirs because it's a small set of 3 plugs, and sometimes the cables, the cords are intertwined and you're like, oops, I pulled the wrong one. Well, in any case, this didn't work for me. And when I got this, and then I did my DeWalt video, I thought, oh, I'll just get some more of these. And, I like the convenience of the no tool. But the problem with the no tool is not necessarily tight enough. So, especially grinder and cutting, for this particular device where it's just, pressure, a release and tighten, not so bad. So that leads me to tonight's video and what we'll be doing. So I'll be right back. And just a reminder, this is the new grinder, which has yet a different method of releasing this particular flange nut, and that is with this hex. So we have 3 different types. We have the old DeWalt, which is a wrench. We have this DeWalt, and we have the Ryobi, which uses these. So a box. Let's open this box, because this box is going to address a couple of concerns. And at first, oh, no padding, no nothing. So at first, I was just going to get this tool. Oh, wow. Is it broken? I hope not. I hope it's just flange nut. At first, I was just going to get the equivalent. I was going to get a different one of these, but I don't know what the size is. I believe the 5/8 11 for the arbor, but I didn't know what the standard size for this was. And then I started to see all these, excuse my reach, all these adjustable versions. And I thought, okay, that's a winner. Let's make it adjustable. And then I saw some with flange nuts included. I'm like, oh, okay. So that would allow me to address 2 things. Wow, so it looks like they have stapled this and taped it. Okay, how nice of them. So it looks like this is in pieces, or rather disassembled. So the idea behind this is an adjustable version of this, so it wouldn't matter if they're tight or not. And we get our little baggies with lots of oil and stuff. All right, so that is a hard washer. I'm going to assume that would be like that. So a hand tight and adjustable. So I would say, you know, set it to that, tighten it. So now we have that size, which is effectively this. So I took this to school and was useless because it's not the right size, but it's adjustable, so I don't have to guess. And since this one came with 2 of these, it looks like I'll just leave that bottom in and put the top on. The top being, depending on how it takes off, the top being that size. Now, we're going to set this up. Let's loosen this. Oh, I don't even know my own strength. Amazing. So we'll tighten this to that. So now we have that size. So let's see if, and it's not, oh, it is the same size-ish. So we'll tighten that a little bit, lock it down. Okay, it's locked down, and now it's tight. So that takes care of the DeWalt, but since I don't need to use this on the DeWalt, because I have the DeWalt one, which quite frankly is a little nicer. The fit and finish seem to be a little more goody. Let's lock that in place, and boom. So that is now locked. So that's good. And let me pause you. And now we have the original DeWalt, which obviously doesn't work with this. And this is the tool that came with this particular grinder, which works great with shallow wheels, but not even with the deepest, but not so easy with a deeper, which then requires me to do something a little more creative with a socket set. So again, is there a reason to remove this? Not really, especially considering it's a different shapey shape. So we're going to lock that in, and we're going to use one of these newbies. These newbies, and we're going to do this. Bingo. Oh, that's tight. So now we have the DeWalt, the new DeWalt, the old DeWalt, and I will do the Ryobi. One moment, please. All right, so what I would do in class with my welding gloves on, and I guess we don't need this anymore, is I would lock this, and then I would lock this, and then try to twist it off like that, like so. So I don't really need a wrench to crank it on, and again, this looks exactly like this. So we will use the top half, put these bottom halves in one of my other grinder bags. So now this tool goes away. I guess I can use it in the Ryobi bag per se. I'll keep this with the welder, excuse me, with the grinder in my welding class, but now that I have this, and there we go. So all three grinders are now being supported by this $9. So I think the $9 was for this. The cheapest I found this was like $5. And then the flange nuts, depending on, you know, quality and all that good stuff, it's all knockoff in my opinion. So I didn't feel the justification to and getting that in the right place. There we go. I didn't feel the justification was there to spend the money on something that I'm just not going to see the value of, me personally. And again, if I'm at school, I would have just hand tightened that, and we're good to go. So we're ready for school, class, whatever you want to call it. This will go with me, so that'll be in the kit. These, I'll keep that with it. These will go in a bag. Probably I'll probably keep it in the new DeWalt bag. Maybe this one goes in the old DeWalt bag. Yeah, this one will go in the old DeWalt bag. These already are there, so now we have extras. And I was even thinking about getting extras of these, but, you know, I'm going to be honest, I just like the security of being able to crank a little bit and have that firm, you know, doing this by hand, yeah, and then you could just crank it down, but then, you know, cranking it down makes it twice the effort by hand and by tool. Why not just do it by tool? So this is cool. I don't know if I'll use this that much, but I like the flexibility of having it. So we're going to call that a wrap. This is kind of a cool tool. I love the flexibility so that you don't have to buy the right size or know the exact size based on whatever the flange nut size is, and by that size meaning the holes, the pattern of the holes. So this works out good. Later.